Tonight, I want to talk about Joshua James McCoy. He had gone missing on November 9th and ultimately was found on November 12th. Josh, who was autistic and nonverbal, went missing from his mother's home on Stage Road. This all happened in Coos County, Oregon. She claims that she was taking a nap and Josh was too. 3 days later, his lifeless body was found in the woods just 2 miles away from his home.
Tragically, Joshua McCoy was found deceased about 1.6 miles from the house where we started at a straight line distance. The cause of death is still under investigation, but thankfully we've had amazing support from partner agencies, both local, state, federal. We've had a lot of people out here, a lot of people helping to look, and I just wish there was a better outcome.
Do we know the cause of death?
Not yet.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Not at this time. This is going to be under investigation for a while. We're not done trying to figure out exactly what happened. Not even close, but yeah, it's at least we found him.
What time did you find him?
I don't remember the exact time. It was a couple hours ago.
Okay, so in the evening.
Yeah.
And then he was gone when she awoke at 3 p.m. Later, she changed that timeline, stating they had fallen asleep at 10 a.m. and she awoke at 1 p.m. During the same interview, she reportedly made comments about Josh being found naked and dead in the woods, details that had not been released or given to her. Joshua's dad, Lawson Amos McCoy, has also spoken out. He's been expressing his devastation. He also wants answers. He says, "I want the truth, plain and simple. I don't care about anything else. My baby's gone." Amos McCoy, who has not seen his son in about a year after moving back to Ohio, shared his deep regret, convinced that if he had stayed, his son might still be alive. He went on to say, "I nurtured him, bathed him, fed him. I knew his favorite foods. I know his favorite colors," he said, breaking down in tears. He explained that before leaving Oregon, the family had lived what was described as an idyllic life. He and Angela met in Utah, where they bought a house and started a family. Later, they moved to Oregon after Angela got a nursing job in Coos Bay. Amos, who's a U.S. Air Force veteran, stayed home to care for Joshua, who was diagnosed with autism. Now, Amos and his family are working to bring Joshua's body back to Ohio to lay him to rest alongside his great-grandparents. Joshua's uncle, who shares his name, has started a GoFundMe to help cover the transportation, funeral costs, therapy, and other expenses. Writing in the GoFundMe, "Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support during this unimaginable, painful time. Hashtag justice for Joshua." Josh's dad also expressed gratitude, investigators and the community for their love, prayers, and support. Now, the case is still unfolding, but there have been some disturbing things that were found. There are court documents, again, revealing that she knew that he was in the woods, that he had no clothing on, and that he was left there. These things had not been told to her. The medical examiner found no signs of trauma, scratches, or cuts on Josh's body, finding that inconsistent with the idea that he had just wandered through the dense underbrush alone, and the only mud that was present was on his hands. Additionally, there have been documents revealed DHS in Oregon had been investigating her for alleged alcohol abuse and neglect for months, even issuing a pickup order for Josh prior to his disappearance. Utah's Department of Human Services had also conducted investigations into her parenting. Angela's friend, who had previously allowed her and Josh to stay with them in Utah, told detectives she eventually had to ask them to leave due to German's treatment of her son. Tragically, it was only 2 weeks later that Joshua went missing. Now, police have not confirmed whether Angela will be investigated for murder, but it seems to be pointing that way. Court records are suggesting there's probable cause to believe she may be involved in the crime of second-degree murder. And this is still unfolding, so we will follow it closely. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.